Hi guys, and thanks for joining me today. If you're new here, I'm Marilyn, and if you're returning, thanks so much for coming back. Now, I've done a lot of DTF transfer videos on my YouTube channel, but on today's video, we're not going to be putting these DTF transfers on clothes like I usually do. Instead, we're going to put them on a wood panel, a canvas board, and this metal sign. For the video, we're going to use Procolored's new launch printer, the K13 LITE. This printer just officially launched yesterday, and Procolored has its special early bird pricing going on right now. There's a couple things that I really like about this printer that are different from the printers I've had in the past. First of all, when I set this printer up, there's a button that you push and it causes the ink to go through the tubes, the print head. You don't have to use the syringe method like in the past. Second of all, in addition to the white stirring system, it also does an auto printhead clean once every 10 hours. If you're in the market for a DTF printer and you've done your research and you think you'd like this printer, I have a link to it in the video description below, and if you use that link, you'll automatically receive $100 off the purchase of a K13 LITE, even the early bird pricing. Enough said about the printer, let's go ahead and start our projects. For this first project, which will be pressed onto the 11x14 canvas board, I'm printing out a Christmas sign design that I got off of Creative Fabrica. Now that it's done printing, I'm going to advance the film, then I can use the cutting blade to cut the design off. Now it's time to add the DTF powder to the back of the design. This powder will be the adhesive, and that's what's going to cause the ink to adhere to whatever I put it on, in this case the canvas board. You pour some DTF powder onto the back of the design, and then tilt the design back and forth so that all the ink gets covered with the powder. There's no waste here because the excess powder is going to go right back into the container to use later. Once all the ink is coated, go ahead and tap off that excess powder. After powdering the design, you need to cure the powder. This just means that you're heating it up and it melts into a fine layer of adhesive. You can place your design into the oven by sliding out the drawer, or you can lift the top cover and place it inside from the top. I'm heating the powdered design at 135 degrees Celsius for 150 seconds. This gets really hot, so I would recommend using a heat-resistant glove to remove the design. Once the powder's melted, it looks kind of like orange peel on the back. Here's my canvas board, and I actually pre-pressed this for about 10 seconds to remove any moisture from it. I'm going to place my DTF design down on it and take just a minute to get it as centered as well as possible. Now I'm going to press this at 325 degrees for 15 seconds. This is looking really, really good. I think it's going to be so cute. But before I peel the film off the canvas board, I want to let it cool off. So let's go ahead and print our next design. This next project is for my niece. She loves Halloween and she really loves pumpkin spice. She posted her first pumpkin spice haul for the fall recently, so I think she's going to love this design. Look at how bright these colors look. Just like last time, I'm powdering the design. I'm wearing my gloves and mask, and I think it's important to take precautions like this, as well as work in a well-ventilated room. When powdering your designs, make sure you watch as you powder them so that you can make sure you're coating the entire back. If you miss part of it, it won't adhere correctly to your project. Or if it does, it's probably not going to last very long. I really like this curing oven. The usable space inside of it's about 13 inches by 18 inches. So if you're using the oven to cure your projects, that's basically the largest design that you can use. But that's plenty big for about anything I'd want to make. I like to pre-press anything that I'm going to add a DTF transfer to. So I'm pre-pressing the wood panel at 325 degrees for 15 seconds. If it does get a bit warped, if it curves a little bit, I'll just flip it over and press it again. It looks good, so I'm going to turn it towards me so I can make sure I get my design nice and straight. This one's going to be really cute as well. Now I'm going to press the design at 325 degrees for 15 seconds. Now I'm using a piece of parchment paper over it simply because the Teflon cover over the top of my press has something a little sticky on it and things have been sticking to it lately. Alright, let's go ahead and remove the film from my canvas board. Now when you remove it, go slowly in case part of it tries to lift. If it does, put the film back down and just repress it. But this film's coming off perfectly and the design looks great. Look at it. It looks really good. But this ink right now is smooth and slippery. I'm going to put a piece of parchment paper over it and do a second press. Always do that second press. I promise you, it is well worth it. I hope you can really see in the camera what a difference it makes when you do the second press. Look at how the ink now takes on the texture of the canvas board. This is a great project to do with your DTF printer. Now let's see how the wood panel is going to turn out. Like I said before, go slowly just in case. But the film's coming off as it should, and this looks really good. But it's going to look even better after that second press with parchment paper over it. Oh my goodness! Look at this! It's perfect! And I can even see a little of the wood grain in a couple of places. I'm going to get this really close to the camera so that hopefully you can see what I see. So beautiful. And it feels really good as well. Okay, our last project is the galvanized metal sign. I made one of my great niece's initials to put on it so that she could use it as a sign for her bedroom door. I hope she likes it as much as I do. You've seen this process twice already, so I'm just going to fast forward through adding the powder and curing the design. I printed two initials at the same time, so I need to cut them apart before I can press this. Now, even though I said earlier that I try to pre-press anything that I'm going to press, I'm actually not pre-pressing this since it's metal and it shouldn't have any moisture in it. I did, however, clean it with rubbing alcohol before I started filming the video. And I feel like I need to add a little tape to this project because this metal is a really smooth surface, and I don't want the design or the film to shift a little bit when the press lowers. And I am still pressing this project at 325 degrees for 15 seconds. Since it's metal, this one's going to be really hot, so I'm going to wear my glove to remove it. And it looks pretty good, but I'm going to let it cool off before peeling the film. And this metal's going to take longer to cool down than the other projects. Okay, I've waited a few minutes, and even though the metal's a little bit warm, I want to go ahead and peel this film. All right, it's looking good. Well, this part's lifting, so let me go ahead and repress it. Okay, this time I'm going to wait longer than last time. It feels pretty good, but I'm going to fan it to cool it down even more. But I need to remove the tape before I can peel it. All right, let's turn it around so I can peel from the other side. I'm going to go nice and slow and peel it back at a really sharp angle. Okay, it's coming up nicely this time. This does look cute, but I can see where the adhesive oozed out a bit from under the ink. It's not anything that ruins the project, but it's definitely something I wanted to point out. Now, it's really smooth and slippery, just like the other projects. So I'm going to repress it with parchment paper and see what happens. I'm pretty sure that this is the first time I've pressed a DTF print onto metal. So let's see what happens. Okay, I like it even more after the second press. I still have that issue of the adhesive that oozed out. It's going to show up, but it's not going to stand out like I think it does on camera. At least I hope not. Let's look at the 3 projects one more time. Here's the door sign that I made. It's hard to get a good feel for it since it reflects the studio lighting so much. It's nice, but I don't know that I'd recommend DTF on metal a whole lot. Then here's the project where I used the wood panel. Very cute. And lastly, the Christmas sign design that I pressed onto a canvas board. It might be my favorite, but I really love the colors of the other 2. Which one is your favorite? So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. If you're interested in a Procolored printer, check out my link in the video description. And until my next video, bye-bye.